So today we're going to be working through a nice little classical exercise from the Pilates Reformer Repertoire, Mermaid. It's one of my absolute favorite stretches. I feel the stretch across your sides, across your back, across your chest. It's just, you feel so much longer and stretched out after this exercise. So I thought, let me walk you guys through it because I've seen so many faulty postures here. So this would be the correct way to do it, or the way that I was trained classical. So it's the closest to Joseph's exercise. So let's get started. I'm working on a balanced body reformer today, working with one red spring. And the setup is going to be as follows. You have options here for your posture. The original exercise is to have your left shin against the shoulder block. Well, not your left shin, but a leg against the shoulder block. And your right leg will be crossed out in front of you. I'm working left side today. If you're facing the opposite side, it would be right shin, left leg. We're going to be doing both sides either way, so it doesn't really matter. But if your hips are tight, you can either work with the legs stacked underneath just each other like that. You want to probably get yourself more or less in the middle of your reformer, of your mat. If that's still too much for your hips, you can always take that one leg down onto the floor and work from there. If that's still too tight for your hips, you can swing those legs forward and work with them both on the floor. So you have options here. You can still do an amazing exercise and get that nice stretch. So let's get set up in that little Z shape. Left shin against shoulder block, right leg is extended out to the sides. We're going to work with the right hand on the foot bar, and your left arm is going to be extended long. What I like to tell my students is you want to simply envision that you're shifting the weight onto your left hip, because a lot of the times what I've seen and what a lot of people think mermaid is this is not correct. This is the exercise that I see. By doing that, you're literally just gliding in and out. You're not getting a stretch. You want to get that stretch coming out of your sides, like getting a little bit of a lift. That's why it's so juicy and so spicy and just so amazing. So let's take that left arm out to the side. Shift the weight into your left hip and reach up and overhead. Nice long arm here. You want to try keep those hips down and get that arm lengthening, not just having it hang on your head. Here, again, you're not getting the benefit of the exercise. So you want to have lines. Joseph was all about lines. So let's get those lines going on here and coming back up. Probably do about 4 of these. I'm just going to do 2 for demonstration purposes today. Next one, pushing out, lift and reach. Let's stay in that position and transition over to the floor. So rotate the chest down to the floor, take your left hand to the bar, slide that right arm out to the side and reach all the way back. And then coming back up, you want to stack that spine nice and tall, getting a lift through the front side of the body here. You should be feeling it down your sides, maybe into the hips. Exhale to push back. And inhale to come back up, stacking that spine, making your neck long like a turtle. And last one, we're going to push all the way back. Stay there this time. Nice, easy transition. Slide that right hand back to the middle. Rotate your chest forward. Shift the weight onto that left hip and come up the same way you came down. Take that left hand down onto the headrest and reach up and over with your right arm. So now the stretch is coming out the opposite side, counter stretch. And come back up. We'll do that one more time. I like to add a little bit of a spinal twist here. So as you reach that right arm up, take that right hand onto the one shoulder block and the left hand onto the other shoulder block and get that nice little press and lift through the spine. This should feel so good on the spine. If that's too much for you, you can always just stay in that stretch. A lot of people hold onto the shoulder block and do it from there. It's up to you what you prefer, but for me, the headrest just makes a lot more sense because I can slide my hand over to the edge and just bend into that elbow. So now to get to the other side, we're just going to flip-flop those legs. So instead of getting up and walking around or shuffling all over the place, you're just going to flip-flop the legs over to the opposite direction. Right shin against the shoulder block, left leg is stacked out in front of you. If you have tight hips, you have tight hips. There's not much that you can do about that other than working through Pilates exercises to get them loose. That's why we do this, right? So when the hip is tight, it's not going to be able to go down. That's normal. It's not able to go flat. So the hip shouldn't go higher than where it is. It can stay up where it is. Sometimes it happens that you have one hip that's tighter than the other. For me, in my case, my right side is a lot tighter than my left side. So you want to make sure that that hip doesn't get higher than where it is. So you want to still try and shift the weight into that right side, Pushing out on the left arm, reaching up and overhead, keeping the weight into that right hip as far as possible. And coming back up, we'll do one more. Exhale, lift and reach. Rotate that chest toward the floor, slide that left arm out to the side, get your chest pressing down to the floor, and then coming all the way back up, stacking that spine, making it grow nice and long. And again, pushing all the way back. And coming back up on the inhale, stacking that spine. Try glide the carriage all the way in. Last time here, pushing all the way back. Slide that hand back to the middle. Rotate your chest toward the wall in front of you. And bring your right arm up, taking it down to the headrest. Lift and reach with that left arm up overhead. And come back up. Last one here, we're going to get that little twist. Exhale, lift and reach. As you reach, take the left hand to your shoulder block, right hand, and get that nice little press and lift through the spine. And relax. And that is mermaid.